Hello and welcome to
Grafham Water Caravan and Motorhome Club site.
This is a good site for us, isn't it?
It is.
We've stayed here probably a dozen times, but I don't think we've ever filmed
I
it.
don't think we ever have, no.
Principally because we use it for a very functional reason. It's a base for us when we're visiting grandkids and family. But with this weekend, we're going to chill out a bit. So, what we're going to tell you about this place is simply this, that if you like outdoor activity, you like biking, walking, especially around water, because it's a great inland waterway, it's a wonderful place. History next door at Kimbolton.
Oh, yes.
Lots to show you. Yeah. I think you'll enjoy it. And so by the time we get to the end, I'm sure we'll have convinced you.
Or bored you to death.
So let's take you on a journey with us.
So straight opposite the entrance to the site is this public footpath that leads you all the way to Grafham Water. And if you look round just slightly to my left or your right, you can just see the reservoir in the distance.
So over the fields we go. We've got an interesting few days lined up actually. We are going to Bedford tomorrow, which will involve looking after the tykes for a little while. But we like Bedford. We certainly like it round the river. So we're hoping to get down into Bedford and show you some riverside shots. We'll have to see how that pans out. And then we're going to do the park run at Huntington on Saturday morning, which is one we've done before. That's quite a nice place. Followed by some walking and some general acting about, which is what I want normally. We've hit the water's edge. There's some fishermen out there and some boatists. And two guys in a boat fishing. Big mass of water this. I'm pretty certain Ellen will be giving you some stats on it later on. Stato, my wife Stato. Yes. Yeah. Stato will be on it. And over the far side, and we're walking over there probably on Sunday, is the yacht club. It's about 10 miles round. We used to come here when we were marathon training. It's quite a good 10 miler to get in the legs. It's quite good. Yeah, it's quite a nice walk around here. You can probably see beyond Helen some more fishermen in boats. It looks like there must be a competition on today because there's a whole host of small boats out around the water's edge. And plenty of swans. This is the Rutland Cycle Centre. And you can hire anything here. Dog carriages, kiddie carriages, helmets, electric bikes, normal bikes. You can hire anything and ride it all the way around the lake. It's quite a good facility really. Good company as well, Rutland Cycles. I've used them before a few times. I always like looking around bikes, but in fairness I just bought one, a new one. It's bought a Cube actually, which is for another video. And it's replaced the trusty Trek that I've had for 5 years. And that Trek bike has been everywhere. It's an electric mountain bike, as is the new one. And it's been to the north face of the Eiger, it's been through the Dolomites, it's been through the Alps, it's been through northern Spain, and it's been all over the European continent in fairness. And it was really quite a thing to part with it, but it's just rode it into the ground and it was time for a new one. So we're, yeah, that'll be coming up. I'll show you that in another video. I bought it, of course, it's not a freebie. And yeah, to be fair, if you're going to buy a bike for yourself, you're going to buy it. You're not going to use one that you sent. So I'm very pleased with it. Tried it yesterday. I say it's a Cube, so it's a good quality machine, and I think it'll do the job.
Grafham Water is maintained by Anglian Water and it's fed by the River Grey Ouse. It is the 8th largest reservoir in the country and it is the third largest by area. It's 10 miles in circumference and in the middle it's 69 feet deep. But it's got a shrimp, so it says no paddling, no swimming, and keep your dogs on a lead, which Pops will be mortified about because she hates getting her feet wet anyway.
Is it a killer shrimp? Is it at least...
Doesn't look very nice.
Is it at least ill-tempered?
It's bad-tempered.
Is it a bad-tempered shrimp?
Yeah. There we go.
This is going to be fun.
I may have got in, I may not be able to get back out.
Can you just say that wasn't as very graceful as a swan? It was more like the SAS coming through the front door. There's a lakeside cafe and somewhere to get something to eat, drink and an ice cream. Not licensed. They only throw that in for interest. It's not particularly important to us, just a reference point. But one word of warning, as you come down near the water, particularly now, the midges are starting to form, and it's about 4 o'clock, and it's probably time we weren't here. It's suddenly got very dense with them. So we're going to head our way back now and see if we can give these midges a miss. Well, autumn's returned this morning. For a nice afternoon yesterday, it's back to a little bit of drizzle and yeah, indicative of the weather we've been having in the UK this summer, isn't it? But only sort of that fine rain that soaks you through. It's not belting down. But yeah, so we've come into Kimbolton. It's a little village, about 5-minute drive, 10-minute drive from Grafham Water. It's beautiful. It's clearly a wealthy area, this, and there's a private school which I'll let Helen tell you about in a minute, because it's got some other historical factors which I think you'll find interesting. But behind me is the church, and we've come into town to find a little shop and just check out what's available to see.
Behind me is Kimbolton Castle. It's actually a stately home that used to be owned by the Dukes of Manchester. It's open to the public only twice a year because it's now a private school. But perhaps its most famous resident was Katherine of Aragon, the first wife of Henry VIII, who was imprisoned here for 4 years until she died in 1536. And interestingly, she's buried in Peterborough Cathedral. This is St Andrew's Church in Kimbolton. And there's some very impressive coats of arms up on the walls just here. It's a bit of a stranger-shaped church. It's very, very peaceful. And some of the stained glass windows are beautiful. It's like little chapels and little side rooms off here. I've never seen a church with as many doors. Wow, that's very impressive. These windows are stunning. I have to say they'd give some of the European cathedrals a run for the money just here. That one in particular, because it's a little bit darker. Beautiful. Oh, there we go. This is interesting. This stone was placed here in memory of the personnel of the 379th Bomb Group, US Army Air Force, who was stationed here during World War II. And the little memorial chapel just there. And this is obviously the font, which looks to be very old. Yeah, interesting. It has got that fusty old smell to it though. Maybe that makes it a little bit more authentic.
This is the entrance to Kimbolton School, or Kimbolton's Castle. It's quite exclusive, I think.
We're going for a little walk now down to the Grafham Trout, which is the community pub in the village. It's about a 10-minute walk from the site. It's got real ales, and you can take your dog in. So
must that be a bit different, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's going to be. It's at the side of the community shop. It's all run by the locals. They do different things on different nights. Thursday's quiz night. You can even take your own food in, or take in food that you've bought at the local shop. So we're going to check it out.
This is a pint and a half of locally brewed Fool's Nook.
I've got to say that was an experience, wasn't it?
It was fantastic for a community pub. Very nice inside, exceptionally dog friendly. Good couple of real ales, everything you could possibly want in there. Very, very good.
And a pizza place outside that you could take your pizza in if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Must have been about 10 dogs in there. It was
I
really,
think
really dog friendly.
At one point there was as many dogs as people, which is always good.
exceptionally friendly. This is a good place.
Yeah.
If you haven't been here, you need to check this out.
Check it
because
out.
The site's great, the locality's great, and there's plenty to do. Good morning. Well, it's Saturday morning, and that means park run day for us, as we've mentioned many times. So, but this time I've been a tourist. We always look on a map and find out where our local park run is. This time it's at Huntington, which is about a 20-minute drive in a country park there. So the three of us are going off to do that, and then we've got to get some jobs done on the van today, which we'll fill you about in a bit as we get ready for another European trip. And so we're doing a bit of a micro clean this afternoon. But I will talk to you about that later in the day. But for now, let's get going. Nice cup of tea this morning. Running shoes are on. The dog's getting excited because she realises what's happening. She loves it. And we'll see how we go. I haven't run this one for 5 years. I was a little bit younger and had a personal best on this route. I'm not running anything like as quick as that at the moment. So it's not likely to be quite as fulfilling, but you never know. Well, it's quite good.
That was really good. Very warm this morning.
Yeah, good course though. Some of the courses are sometimes like 3 laps of the field, but this one's right through the country park, round lakes, 1 lap. So it's absolutely excellent. So I recommend this, and well done to Huntington Park Run.
Yes,
and
very
it's volunteers.
good. Yeah, I'm steaming up.
We're steaming
Must
up.
have worked hard.
I don't know what time we got yet because we haven't got the official times, but it's a reasonably good run today, so we're hopeful.
Poppy did well. She only tried to pick up a dead bird once, which is a bonus.
Because if she had picked it up, you'd have had to carry it all the way around.
Yeah.
Let's go and get some breakfast.
Yes, let's.
I mean, our pops are hiding in the back of the van because despite being out this morning and doing a park run, and all of us going quite well really, in fairness, time-wise, including our pops. Always wagging her tail now because she knows we're talking about her. Despite all of that, it looks like we might be cleaning the van this afternoon. And I mean, like, the words deep clean and micro clean are being used to get us ready for a trip that we've got coming up. Which you can imagine I'm really enthusiastic about cleaning the van. And apparently I've got everything to the front of the tap. The sink is my area, and H is doing the back bit. So it's got to be done, I guess, but I'm using up all my avoidance techniques at the moment. They've never worked before, and I don't anticipate that they'll be successful this time, but I just sort of owe it to myself to try, really. It's just a matter of pride. But anyway, next time you see me, I'm sure I'll have a duster in my hand and I'll be rubbing something and polishing it up so it shines. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, it's Monday morning. We had a day off yesterday, didn't we? After our magnificent efforts on deep cleaning the van.
Yes.
What a job I did.
To be fair, you did actually do a really, really good job.
It's better for it, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It looks a lot better.
Obviously, the General was in charge.
Generalissimo. Just call me Casimiro.
Casimiro,
yeah. I'm the Casimiro of van cleaning.
Let's not talk about football at the
No,
moment.
let's not bother.
We got stuffed yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we'll go for a run. It's 7 a.m. There's not much moving on the campsite. There's a little bit of mist settling. It's like an autumnal morning, to be fair. But we have to creep out because as soon as we realise we start running too early, Poppy will get excited and start barking.
And everybody will be awake.
Will be up. So we're going to need to creep off nice and quietly and get the run done. So we're going to go out and run towards the lake. It's quite a nice area. And then we'll attack the day and then on into Bedford. Should be good. It's going to be a warm day today. There is steam coming off the top of the car as the dew is being burnt off. I don't think you can see it on here, but it's quite interesting. Well, all that mist around the lake when we were running has just burnt off, hasn't it? It's going to be a beautiful day today.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to a good one. So we're going to have a ride into Bedford and see what the city's got to offer. It's a really nice walk down by the river if we can get down there. So we're going to have a bit of lunch and just chill out down there, and we'll see what the day brings. So here we are, the riverfront in Bedford. One of my favourite places to walk by the river. Been here quite a lot of times because we've got family live in Bedford. And certainly if you come on regatta day, when this is full of rowing clubs from all over the UK, it's quite a thing to experience. But it's a beautiful day today, and it's a lovely place. Somewhere over on the other side of the bank, there's somewhere to grab some lunch. Just be able to make out H walking over the top of the bridge. The Bedford Rowing Club. People are out already. This is the Longhome, one of our favourite lakeside cafes. Right at the side of the river and the pontoon side. Which is quite a nice view from where we're sat.
For the past few days, we've been staying at Grafham Water Caravan and Motorhome Club. Now, I don't normally do site reviews for Caravan and Motorhome Club sites because it's pretty much the same wherever you go. But on this occasion, I thought I'd make an exception because it's a pretty unique place and it ticks a lot of boxes. Now, as I'm walking down the drive that takes you to the main entrance, if you're not a Caravan and Motorhome Club member, then don't worry. Right at the side of us here is a Caravan and Camping Club CS. So you're still in the right area if you want to explore this part of the country. So whereabouts are we? We're in Cambridgeshire, which puts us within striking distance of Cambridge, Bedford, Kimbolton, and obviously the reservoir at Grafham Water, hence the name. If you want to come here for a few days and not venture very far or not want to drive anywhere, then this is a really good place to come. There's a dog walk on site if you've got a furry four-legged friend, which links up to cycleways and other footpaths. You can also walk to Grafham Water, walk around the reservoir, which is about 10 miles, and there's a visitor centre, there's a cafe, there's a bike hire shop. There's also a place where you can rent pedalos, kayaks, paddle boards, you name it. So if you didn't want to have to drive, then this is a perfect location. But like I've said, you can travel a little bit further afield as well. We're heading down now to the main reception. Grafham itself, it's only a small village, but what it's got a community shop that's got its own website. It tells you when it's open and what it sells. And there's also the community pub, which you may have seen us using. And again, that's got its own website and it tells you when it's open. It sells at least 2 craft beers, and there's just about everything else you could possibly want from a community pub. And it really is very nice inside. So we come up here to the entrance to the site, and on both sides you've got there's about 5 or 6 park houses here. This is a very pretty site. It's relatively small, but what it's got hard standing pitches, grass pitches, and it's also got service pitches as well. It's got the usual good facilities block that's got laundry, showers, toilets, etc., dishwashing, all the things you could expect. It's got a very good information area, and over on here on the right hand side again is something else that makes it pretty unique. You've got Cromwell Cottage, and Cromwell Cottage is named simply because it used to belong to the family of Oliver Cromwell a good few hundred years ago. Spin round to here, and this is the main entrance to the site. Got reception on your right hand side, and I have to say again, it's probably one of the prettiest site entrances that you're going to come to. So if you want to come and explore Grafham Water and this area, then I have to say this is the perfect place to come to.
Well, it's a warm one.
It is 29 degrees outside already, so we're hiding in the van where it's a bit cooler.
I like it warm.
But don't like it this warm.
Typical English response, I think. Oh, we had a great few days here.
It's been wonderful.
So we're off back to the Kingdom of Norfolk.
Yes.
To prepare for a weekend away at Wells.
Yes, back at Pinewoods.
With some good friends. And then after that, we're on our way back to Europe. But we'll tell you all about that next week. Martin out.
Helen out.